All right. Live with the Estradas. The band's back together. We missed Nathaniel last week. What were you doing, buddy? Were you just showing houses?
Where were you?
I didn't even know where I was. So.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
Yeah. Well, we're going to jump right into this. What we like to do is just do a weekly recap. I'm going to ask you, buddy, because you did 3 open houses this weekend, and that means you're in the trenches hearing what buyers and sellers are talking to you about. What are they saying out there? What's going on?
It's a lot of it was actually sort of shocking what I got back was that like buyers are really able to, they're looking for something to buy right now, and most of them are like 0 to 30 days out. So like when they sign in, I sort of just try to figure out what their timeline is, and most of them mark 0 to 30 days out. And as I get to talking to them, most of them already went under contract on a few houses. So they go under contract, and they're pretty good deals, they say. But then when it comes to inspection, the seller does not want to do anything. And so they just terminate based off that. So I was a little shocked with how many people said that this weekend. And then for sellers, they are sort of still testing the market, or they're a little confused on what the market is, because maybe last month a home that was, a very good comp, similar in size, square footage, layout. So probably for more than what they're listed are right now. And they thought it was going to sell quick, but now they're sitting on the market for, 45 days plus, and wondering, what do we do now? We have multiple price reductions, don't know what to do. And they're sort of lost right now. So that was sort of the mix that I heard. And another interesting thing was that Friday was my busiest day out of all open houses.
Huh.
And that was an evening? It wasn't during the day?
Yeah, it was 3:30 to 6:30.
Wow. Okay.
Huh.
That is interesting. So maybe that's maybe a trend that we need to pay attention to is people are busy on the weekends, right? I mean, they got soccer, they got sports activities, all kinds of things going on the weekends.
It's nice out.
Yeah. And they're trying to maximize their weekends, and then maybe looking at houses during the week or even on a Friday. So,
well, another thing too was that a lot of people appreciated me having the open house on Friday, because Saturday and Sunday they have showings already. So they're already set up to look at other houses that may not be on open houses. So that was another thing, just having the ability to have a Friday open, especially the first day on the market, was pretty beneficial for, our sellers, I think, because that already got them an offer. And then it gives them opportunities to, hey, if they really did like the property on Friday, they came back, Saturday or Sunday to see it again.
Yeah.
Wow, I think you hit the nail on the head with one word, Nathaniel, to sum up what the market is right now. At least I feel, and it's confused. I feel like agents are confused, sellers are confused. There's a lot of confusion happening right now in the market, and which motivates me to be a better resource for people, because how can we get rid of that confusion? Because it does. The market's confused.
Well, I think sorry, a couple things are going on. From the buyer's point of view, they're being told that it's a buyer's market, and they're going in and negotiating hard on price, and the seller's accepting it. And the sellers are like, hey, if we go this low on price, we can't fix anything. And then that's not getting conveyed to the buyer, because the buyer thinks, oh, not only did we negotiate hard on the price, we can do a second round of negotiations when it comes to inspections. And there's just no room for it. Even if the seller wanted to do it financially, they probably can't. So that's when deals fall apart. And that's why we, on the OfferX side, we try to do, I'm a big proponent of getting a inspection up front. So that way it eliminates that second round of inspection items and negotiations, because 9 times out of 10, that's, if a deal's going to fall through, it's going to fall through at that time. So we tried to alleviate that. And then as far as the sellers not knowing where to price it, again, that's another OfferX solution in that we price aggressively and strategically below market. So that way we're not taking a top-down approach with pricing. We're doing a bottom-up when it comes to pricing. So that way we're priced right every time instead of missing the market when, it's the most important. It's a brand new listing, 2 weeks on the market. We really want to try to maximize that excitement and buzz that it creates, as opposed to every day it's on the market, it's getting stale. It's getting even more stale. So
that was my frustration of last week. And you watch, I don't know how many phone calls I get, every time we launch a property on OfferX, my phone doesn't stop. And the first few times it was great, like everybody wanted, and now there's just confusion. And I'm frustrated that as an industry, we are so, what's the word? I can't even think of the word, like so stubborn and not wanting to just learn about something new. That has been mind blowing to me. The amount of calls I'm taking where agents are like, I don't even know what this is. I don't even know. I don't want to do this. It's like, but you don't even know anything about it. I'm trying to make your life easier. And then this agent was like, oh, I did go onto the site and actually it is a lot easier and it did save me time. And I'm like, why are we as an industry so stubborn? And then I think I told you the other day, if someone were to ask me today what my biggest frustration is in real estate right now, it's agent ego. And I think that's why there's so much confusion in the market. Agents have the biggest egos of anybody I know.
Watch it now. These are people we got to work with.
I probably the people that we work with would agree. Ego is a major problem in our industry because we think we know everything, and our unwillingness to learn a different way or even consider a different way is not helping the consumer at all. And that's frustrating. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from frustration this Monday.
Well, I think we got to get back to being consumer centric. Yes. What does the consumer want? How can we serve the consumer? How can we make it easier on the consumer? And then we fill that role instead of how can the consumer make it easier on us as real estate agents?
Right. And I think that's hard because that's all we're pitched day in and day out, products and systems and all these things to make you look like a superstar, right? Like this is going to make you as an agent look like this, and you're going to get this, and you're going to get this. And that's all we get all day long. We have lenders calling us to have coffee because they want to build us up and all these things, right? And you're exactly right. I feel like the consumer has got lost in all of that. And so my whole focus is just how do we make them the center of everything again, because that's really what it's about.
Well, it goes back to Nathaniel's point of he's having people come through on a Friday because that's the only open house that's available, as opposed to no open houses on the weekends because agents refuse to do them because they think they're above that, unfortunately.
Or not only that, we've just had agents tell us, oh, I'm just too busy. I don't know I don't know how you can't carve 2 or 3 hours out of your day on a weekend to just do your seller service. And, nothing should take precedent over that. I believe, I mean, yeah, you probably have showings and things like that. And I understand that, but to not even try to coordinate another agent in your office to do it or something, it's mind blowing.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we cooperate with each other to a certain extent. And I think that cooperation needs to go deeper in that we're all trying to help each other, serve the client and do a good job out there. And I think we see each other as competitors, and we don't embrace the real estate community as a whole. I know Nathaniel, you reach out to another bunch of agents to see if you could do open houses for them. And that's even challenging. So yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on out there, but I think we lost some community and some cooperation among real estate agents, and it's really hurting the consumer at the end of the day.
Well, and I think a lot of it has to do, what is that stat that came out a couple of weeks ago that said 71% of real estate agents have zero business right now, zero listings, zero contracts, zero closings. So that's what we're feeling. There's a lot of agents in survival mode, which I completely understand. But unfortunately, a lot of the cooperation is getting lost in that. And some clients are getting lost in that as well, which we feel the frustration in our open houses and things like that, phone calls that we get, sign calls that we get. Sometimes these buyers are just so desperate for information. Like, just tell me what I need to do. Just tell me. And I feel like they're not having the right conversations with other agents out there so that they feel empowered to do whatever it is they need to do. They're almost being told rather than coached.
Well, and they're told by agents that sometimes don't even know what they're talking about. I think they're getting the wrong coaching sometimes, which is super unfortunate. So I don't know. I didn't even intend for this to be negative, but it sort of turned out to be a little negative.
It's not, I don't think it's negative. It's just being aware and what we're seeing in the market and how we can help maybe change that. Again, how do we get to more cooperation instead of competition so that we are giving all of the consumers out there, whoever you're working with, the information that they need to make it through this hard market? Because let's be honest, it's hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's hard.
Yep.
Buying and selling real estate right now is not easy. It never has been, but right now it is not easy.
We need to.
It's not.
Yeah, and we need each other.
Right.
I think you said it best. So, what else you hearing, Nathaniel, out there in the market? Because you're hustling.
Yeah, no, I think, like you guys said, buyers are very desperate for getting information, and then they're desperate for being coached with the information that they have. Like, now they have all the information, they're like, now what? What are the next steps? Like, a lot of the time, like, I probably ran into 3 people yesterday, like, what are the next, or this weekend, what are the next steps? Like, how do we make an offer? And the benefits of OfferX, it literally shows you how to make an offer. Like, you don't have to be a real estate agent, you don't have to go to your agent to make an offer on that platform, which is really nice. Obviously, we highly recommend you using an agent, because it makes our job easier on the listing side, that the protocols and all that stuff that we're going to send over in the documents. But you can make an offer yourself and then go through that whole process and learn, and you get information about what's on the AVM, so you get comps right there. You get the information about the property, what offers are at right now, and all that stuff, at one link that you click on, and you put in your email and you're good. So I think that's another thing. You go to Zillow and stuff, it has all the information, but you don't know what to do with that. You don't know to schedule showing, stuff like that. We have on OfferX, open houses, we try to hold them as much as possible for the next first 2 weekends, and then the offers come in at that deadline. It has all the information there. So it gives you a step-by-step on what to do. And I think that's the key part, and what buyers are missing right now, is what to do with this information. Should I offer this? Should I not? I heard it's a buyer's market. What does that mean? Like, stuff like that is sort of what they're, wanting and craving right now.
So one thing I want to talk to you about is, you told me a story about one of your buyers, and just having the whole transparency thing, because you were in a multiple offer situation and you lost out on that property, and you didn't know how much you lost out on. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah, so this property came on the market pretty quick. There's a lot of showings, like we're literally handing keys back and forth between the agents coming through. And it was listed at 720. And we're like, okay, we know there's a lot of interest. There's already multiple offers. This in the private remarks, agents asking all offers be submitted by the night that we showed the house. And so we wrote the offer and we're like, let's do a little bit above. I think we went 15K over, so we're at like 735. Luckily I did a deal with this agent in the past, and she gave me a little heads up, like, hey, that's not going to cut it. So we went up to all the way to 765. We're like, all right, this should secure the property. And I get a call the next day, hey, we didn't take your offer. And I'm like, okay, what was the other offer at? She didn't want to disclose all this stuff. And then it closed this week, and I saw it was at 766. And my buyers will,
$1,000.
yeah, my buyers probably would have competed for that. Maybe even gone up to 770. They really love the house. Great location, literally the best thing we saw in past 3 months. So just having that transparency probably would have netted her seller, 5,000 more.
Mm-hmm. So they left money on the table by not being transparent.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the hard part about, I think what we're learning right now as far as our team and rolling out more OfferX properties is when you're disrupting the market, it can be painful. There's a lot of outside stuff that you didn't count on that is just, it's like working through, it's just painful. It's growing, not necessarily growing pains, but kind of like the market is kind of like, wait, what are you doing? I don't like it. I don't know this. I'm not familiar. I'm not comfortable. And so we're getting a lot of, I don't want to call it backlash, but it's almost reassuring for me, like, wow, we are disrupting the market because we're ruffling some feathers with the way that we're doing things, which at the end of the day, I don't care about me. All I care about is, am I getting the best result for my client? And we are. So if I have to ruffle feathers to get there, then I'm going to do it. But that's one thing I'm noticing is when you're disrupting something, not everybody's on board and not everybody likes it. And so it's kind of a difficult place to be.
But we're not trying to disrupt it for one party over another.
No.
We're trying to, it's not, benefiting the seller at the detriment of the buyer.
No.
It's as a whole, everyone's benefiting from the entire process.
Yeah, we've not had one transaction when one party was upset about the way it turned out. Both parties have been so happy on both ends. And so I remember, Buddy, you going through that process and you're like, dang, if we would have just known. And so that's the piece where I'm like, okay, as an industry, maybe we need to start looking at that differently, because I don't know how it is benefiting a seller to not let people know, hey, you got to be this if you want to get it.
Yeah.
And the same with buyers. Like, I think we need to just start clearing the dust of things in real estate. You have a buyer that you're getting pre-approved and you talked with him so many times over the weekend. And he's just like, just tell me what I need to do. And you're like, you got to do this. He's like, okay, let me work on that. Now, what do I need to do? Like, I don't know why we continue to just fog the process. It's pretty cut and dry. It just needs to be communicated that way. And transparency is key right now in this market.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people want to make their, position, especially as a real estate agent, you want to be like, oh, I'm advocating for my clients. Oh, I want to do this. And they sort of get in their own way, I feel like. And I think that's sort of the pushback that we're getting with OfferX is like, they don't necessarily have to be there, but they need to be there for the process and like actually coaching them through it, through the platform. So they don't like being transparent because that's sort of, they might see it as taking value away from them as not being the expert. But in reality, you're helping them because the process in and out. And this is you can tell that this offer, like you can review the offers with your buyer right then and there. Like, hey, this is where we need to be. This is why. This is what seller concession is. This is what the buyer agency commission is. They're not doing an inspection. Do you want to do that? Do you not? Like, that's what you need to do through this process. And you're being more transparent with your client and building a deeper relationship, because those are conversations that you wouldn't have when you're, writing an offer traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think our job as an agent is not to be rainbows and sunshine and not to be doom and gloom. We're supposed to have the information that our client needs and communicate that to them correctly and give them the pros and cons of each. Not try to make this magic show of something. So to your point, Nathaniel, I love that I can just go there and be, okay, guys, here's what we need to do. If you do this, this is what it means. If you do this is what it means. So if you're okay with that, then let's do it. If you're not, let's go find something else. So it's hugely beneficial to the client on both sides, like you said, Ruben.
Yeah. And to your point about, being a disruptor, and the first one through the wall is always bloodied. That's just the way it is. coming from the co-founder of OfferX point of view, we didn't necessarily want to be a disruptor. That wasn't our goal, and that's not our mission. Our mission is to make buying and selling real estate as frictionless and as painless as possible. But maybe disrupting it is the way to do it, because we've been doing it the traditional way for over 100 years. So that's very difficult.
I just got an email. We talked on our last live about a appointment that I went on where the people had been on the market for 6 months and they were tired and they didn't want to keep going. And I had a conversation with them about OfferX, and the wife was so excited and she loved it. And at the end of the day, as a family, they decided they're burnt out. This process, that 6-month process of the way that they did things, they're just like, we don't want to do it. And I completely understand. I get that. But in her email, the first thing she said was, but I wish you the best of luck with OfferX, because I really hope that it works so that you can change the way people buy and sell homes. That was her line in her email. So They're not listing with me right now. Maybe they will down the road. Maybe they won't. But the fact that somebody who didn't even use it, but just came off of a process that was so frustrating and is endorsing this system that I just showed them was huge to me.
Wow. I didn't know that they said that in the email.
She just sent it right before I got on the line.
Wow. That's awesome.
So yeah, it's just people, I think it's hard enough to trust people today in this day and age as it is with the marketing and the AI and all the other stuff. Like, trust is one of the hardest things to get in the world right now. And I think the only way to do that right now in real estate, because of all the shiny objects and everything, is the human connection and the ability to have clarity and communicate transparency, period. That's all people want. That's all I want. Like, I don't want BS. Just tell me. Like, we don't need to have this big presentation. I don't need an intro and an outro. Just tell me what I need to do. Tell me how much it is. Tell me whatever it is I'm buying. Like, even, you know me, I'm TikTok queen. I buy all kinds of crap on TikTok. Why do you think that I buy from certain videos and not others? The ones that I buy from immediately show me the product, tell me exactly what I need to do, tell me exactly what it is in like 30 seconds. And I think people they just need that.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I think our time's up for now. What should our listeners take away from this?
Oh, I thought.
Oh,
so much. I went on a rant. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I think a lot of people, because you walk into a professional setting or a professional relationship, we have clients tell us all the time, well, this might be a stupid question. There are no stupid questions. Like, you should be asking as many questions as you could think of in your head. There are never too many questions, and there's never a stupid question. And you are not expected to know anything about this process. And if you're working with somebody who expects you to know anything about this process, you might want to keep interviewing. If you aren't talking with somebody who is walking you through every step and every pro and con, and then I don't know, I think you need to just keep looking.
Okay. Nathaniel?
I think, we're just trying to provide as much value as possible and transparency as possible. And that's why, we're promoting OfferX, because we think that solves a lot of the issues that are in the industry right now. We're trying to, continue to do these lives so like what exactly is going on in the market. Trying to always be available for our clients and give them as much information as possible. So if like Tiana said, if you have any questions about, a specific situation that you're in, or, just anything that's on the top of your head, maybe it's not you're buying in 6 months or a year, that let us know so we can help, strategize with you. That way, when you do decide to pull the trigger, we're ready to rock and roll. And we're just going to keep trying to provide as much transparency and value to you. Like Ruben said, it's been done 100 years and we still don't know how to buy a house. You can't go online and figure it out. So we're going to try to do that and implement as much as we can on social media and stuff to, make sure you guys have enough tools in your tool belt to successfully buy your forever home.
Yeah, love it. I think you guys hit it on the head. So,
well, I do want to say thank you to Nathaniel, because his young mind, although uncomfortable, has really pushed us to grow in ways that we didn't know we needed to grow. So kudos to you, Nathaniel, for not being afraid to speak your mind on things that we give you crap for, just because we're old and set in our ways too. So thank you for continuing to push us to think outside the box and be better for those that we serve. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, you certainly challenge us in that aspect, especially on the AI side and all the technology. There's so many things out there, but I think we have to come up with our own filters to kind of alleviate some of that noise, because some of it is noise. There's not everything AI is advantageous or benefits us. So we just got to run it through our filters and make sure that it aligns with what we're trying to do. And yeah, I love it. So
a new answer to you, because you ask me every day how I feel about AI, and it's just going to depend on the day.
Okay. Well,
it changes every day.
Okay. That's not very fruitful.
It will be, I'm sure, eventually.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. So, all right. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week. Give us a call if you have any real estate needs. We'd love to help you out. Even if you have your person, if you're already committed to a real estate agent, but you just want to get a second opinion, we're here for that too. So take care, everybody. Have a good one.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.